Hi there and welcome back, somewhat sooner than expected. This is just a quick update video that I wanted to do for X-Transbots Janssen. I did my first impressions review, but I've had a bit more time with the figure since then, and it was actually pointed out to me in the comments section by a chap called Leon that I was incorrect about the elbow joint. On my copy I was using the left arm to demonstrate, and it was a very tight joint, so when I got to there it felt like it didn't want to move, and I didn't want to force it because I'd heard of breakage with the figure and stuff like that. When I actually tried the right arm, I found that it was a lot easier, and as you can see, bang, straight into a double jointed elbow. The left one is still somewhat tighter than that, but does go with a bit of force. So once I knew that there was a double jointed elbow, I felt a little bit more secure in manipulating that one with some more force than I was in the video. So yes, I can confirm, as you can see, double jointed elbow for the win. This one, yeah, much easier to manipulate. I don't know why this one's so much looser. This one, yeah, as I say, much tighter. Probably something to do with the screw, to be honest. That's one thing I have noticed on this figure, which I will mention in a moment. So that's the first thing that I just wanted to correct. So thanks very much to Leon for pointing that out in the comments. The second thing is something I completely neglected to mention in the review, so apologies for that. But I didn't point out the fact that this guy also has butterfly joints. So there you go. Not the widest range ever, but not too bad. It allows for some decent posing across the body like that, and yeah, works pretty well, I think. Obviously that's what you would get without the butterfly, so that's a good thing to have, and makes for some nice posing options there. I do like it when you obviously, butterflies usually are quite visible, but this one's fairly well hidden, and you can cheat it even more by going that way as well. So that's a really nice positive that I forgot to mention. So apologies for that. I was rather rushing through the video because it was running along already, as mine always do. The last thing I wanted to mention was about the screws itself, because as I said in the first impressions review, I literally was just messing with it for the first time, really. So everything I was reacting to was what I observed from handling the figure for the first time. What I will say is that my observations about loose joints, etc., in some areas and overly tight joints in the other, they do still hold true for the most part, but I found that the screws actually were to blame for that in the feet. I think I mentioned the ankles as being a particularly weak point where he had trouble standing. Well, there is, I'll see if I can show you, in the ankle here, there is a screw just here, and I tighten that up, and now the toe pivot, and I don't know if I can show that off from this side because of how it will look, but obviously in turning that screw I've tightened that piece there, and obviously that's the bit that rotates, so I imagine it will come loose again over time with a lot of manipulation, but it has tightened up and stiffened the joint to the point now where I don't feel like he's unstable anymore. You know, I can do that with him and he's not falling, whereas he would have toppled straight back had I done that before. So that's just a little tip for you. If you have Janssen and you're finding that he is a little bit unstable, just a couple of small tweaks of that screw. You don't need anything too heavy, you don't need to over tighten it or anything, just enough just to get a little bit more purchase, and that sorted mine out a treat. So as I said, just a quick update video this, not going to go into too much detail. I have put the old faction symbol on him now, although every time I look at them I always see that they're slightly off centre and slightly crooked. It's not too bad a job, but I used a dry rub for this, and they're nowhere near as easy to position as water slides. You always get one bit down and then you go to move it and it comes up, and in the end you just have to kind of live with it, I think. I much prefer water slides, but I only had dry rubs available for this guy, of this white backed, and obviously red backed wouldn't have worked on a red figure. Anyway, I think after a day or two more to reflect on him, I really like this figure. You know, honestly, I had a lot of negative things to say about lock, and I think every one of them deserved, even the V2. This is a different level. As I say, not as polished as some figures, not even as polished as some X-Transbots figures, I mean, I say some, I mean, Klaatu is a really nice figure. I really like the KFC Junkions. So, you know, X-Transbots do make some good figures. I even like their Scourge and their Cyclonus. I have to say my copies were good for those. But this is more up there with those figures than it is down with the likes of your Ollies, your Locks, and even Boost. I mean, I don't have a problem with Boost really. He's an old design, and I never really had any issue with the feet transformation, not to the point some people did. But yeah, it's an older design now, isn't it? It's not quite as finessed as the newer stuff. So I think I've actually, you know, I like this guy even more than I did. I already recommended that you pick him up if you're interested in a Perceptor, but now you can add a little bit more enthusiasm to that recommendation based on what I observed after seeing that the extra articulation in the elbows, and remembering the butterfly joint and fixing those feet. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully that will help someone out there who, like me, didn't realise that he had a double jointed elbow, and especially people who've had problems with the stability as well. I think that's worth taking some time to look at tightening that screw. Anyway, won't go on for ages. Thanks for watching, and apologies for missing those few bits and pieces first time around in the first impressions review. That is unfortunately a side effect of it being a literal unboxing and first impressions, rather than taking some time to look at the figure first. But that's yeah, just kind of the bit I've bought into, so that's what I'm going to continue to do. I think it's just more honest. Anyway, thanks for watching, and take care everyone. I will catch you in a full video sometime, hopefully in the near future.